The Therapy. Quote from Christopher Hitchens' book, God is not great, Allah is not Akbar. All religions have a tendency to feature some dietary injunction or prohibition, whether it is the now lapsed Catholic injunction to eat fish on Fridays, or the adoration by Hindus of the cow as a consecrated and invulnerable animal, or the refusal by some other Eastern cults to consume any animal flesh or to injure any other creature, be it rat or flea. But the oldest and most tenacious of all fetishes is the hatred and even fear of the pig. It emerged in primitive Judaea and was for centuries one of the ways by which Jews could be distinguished. Even though Sura 560 of the Koran condemns particularly Jews but also other unbelievers as having been turned into pigs and monkeys, a very intense theme in recent Salafist Muslim preaching, and the Koran describes the flesh of swine as unclean or even abominable. Muslims appear to see nothing ironic in the adoption of this uniquely Jewish taboo. Real horror of the porcine is manifest all over the Islamic world. One good instance would be the continued prohibition of George Orwell's Animal Farm, one of the most charming and useful fables of modern times, of the reading of which Muslim schoolchildren are deprived. I have perused some of the solemn prohibition orders written by Arab education ministries, which are so stupid that they fail to notice the evil and dictatorial role played by the pigs in the story itself. Orwell actually did dislike pigs as a consequence of his failure as a small farmer, and this revulsion is shared by many adults who have had to work with these difficult animals in agricultural conditions. Crammed together in stees, pigs tend to act swinishly, as it were, and to have noisy and nasty fights. It is not unknown for them to eat their own young, even their own excrement, while their tendency to random and loose gallantry is often painful to the more fastidious eye. But it has often been noticed that pigs, left to their own devices and granted sufficient space, will keep themselves very clean, arrange little bowers, bring up families, and engage in social interaction with other pigs. The creatures also display many signs of intelligence, and it has been calculated that the crucial ratio between brain weight and body weight is almost as high with them as it is in dolphins. There is great adaptability between the pig and its environment, as witness wild boars and feral pigs as opposed to the placid porkers and frisky piglets of our more immediate experience. But the cloven hoof or trotter became a sign of diabolism to the fearful, and I dare say that it is easy to surmise which came first, the devil or the pig. It would be merely boring and idiotic to wonder how the designer of all things conceived such a versatile creature and then condemned this higher mammal creation to avoid it altogether or risk his eternal displeasure. But many otherwise intelligent mammals affect the belief that heaven hates ham. In microcosm, this apparently trivial fetish shows how religion and faith and superstition distort our whole picture of the world. The pig is so close to us and has been so handy to us in so many respects that a strong case is now made by humanists that it should not be factory farmed, confined, separated from its young, to live in its own order. All other considerations to one side, the resulting pink and spongy meat is somewhat rebarbative. But this is a decision that we can make in the plain light of reason and compassion, as extended to fellow creatures and relatives, and not as a result of incantations from Iron Age campfires where much worse offenses were celebrated in the name of God.